Barkley has it.
Bit of a limp to Barkley's easy 8. Normally he would drive that rebound up himself.
Barkley forces his way.
What they don't want to do is let Charles Barkley think that he can have his way, and they allow it on this particular post-up play. If you're Olajuwon, you don't want to waste fouls against him. You know that he's ailing. You want to make him have to do something on that bad leg. So he is not 100%. If he gets a couple of shots to go in, he's going to think it's going to be another one of those great starts.
First personal foul on Hakeem Olajuwon. Barkley makes it a 5-2 Phoenix lead.
He'll rip your heart out.
Tapped away from Barkley, out of bounds to the Rockets. Ori over AC Green, way too strong. The first basket of the game, Phoenix has scored the last 9 points. Barkley. Olajuwon 0 for 2 from the line. AC Green. And the loose ball to the Suns. Wesley Person for 3.
And contact, and Olajuwon's got too much juice.
Shot doesn't fall for Hakeem.
Perfection of Vernon Maxwell.
Maxwell gone for personal reasons. Carl Herrera out with a separated shoulder. Here's Barkley.
Illegal defense on Olajuwon.
Barkley hits the fallaway. 17.
Barkley has been able to do is get down deep and work one-on-one. When Charles Barkley has been taken out of the game, the double team comes. It comes too late, and he just turns around and fades.
The last Game 7 that Charles Barkley played here in America West in the Valley of the Sun. Seattle 2 years ago, the Western Conference
demanded the ball. He went over to the bench and said, "Paul, timeout. We got to have the ball."
Great
It's helped in this game to have unbelievable athletic talent to make up for mental lapses.
Ori's 3 doesn't go. Barkley another rebound. Kenny Smith's miss. Kenny Smith for 3.
Kenny has come out really aggressive. Barkley's hands. He wants it back.
Tapped out. Shot clock is at 3. Barkley forces it up and grabs the rebound. And a new 24 for the Suns. Barkley directing traffic with the left hand. Marley open for a 3. Offensive performance here in the first by the Houston Rockets. Hakeem so far. Barkley pushed by Chucky Brown before the shot.
The first 3 games. Since that, though, they have fallen off under 15 points per game total for the whole slew of substitutes.
Olajuwon, fade away. Still can't get
the ball game is down to an 8-point game, and if they can take the ball out of Barkley's hands and try to make one of these other players make some shots, they have a chance.
And Chucky Brown on the move. That's off the mark. Barkley with a rebound, tapped and fouled. Superstar Hakeem Olajuwon has the better of the battle so far. Hakeem.
I don't believe he's missed a shot yet either.
Fired up and makes a nice pass to cutting, but too long. That thing bounced over the rim, but this is a sensational pass, and I'm sure they
get in Barkley's face. They're going to fall so far behind in this game. They're never going to have a chance to get back.
Elliott Perry hits another.
Go inside out.
Rockets still scoreless from behind the arc. Barkley's 3 is off the mark, hits the clock, and they turn it over.
But when he makes a 3-pointer, you're going to extend his range?
He was red hot from 3 in Game 6.
Barkley and an offensive foul called underneath. Chucky Brown raises his hand in triumph. There's been a little bit of interaction between Chucky Brown and Charles Barkley all series long.
It's a personal thing. Charles Barkley feels that Chucky Brown is not the player that he is, and not in the same class, and he takes exception to Chucky Brown.
Barkley pulls down the rebound. Outside for Chucky Brown. Brown in and out. Barkley and Drexler and Charles Barkley have had. At one point, Chucky Brown said, well, when this series began, he didn't know who I was. And Barkley responded by saying, I still don't. Olajuwon with Tisdale on. Spins. Tisdale got a hand on it. Phoenix out-rebounding the Rockets 24-13, and Barkley already with 13.
The man with the bad leg has come out, and he is going to leave it all here. If they lose, it's not going to be because he didn't give it everything. See themselves in single digits at the break.
Hakeem, 4 out of 10, and a foul on Barkley. Bennett Salvatore says, you did it. And Barkley is saying to Bennett Salvatore, call the first one.
Well, he gives Drexler a shot, and here it comes. And
called for it. Olajuwon on Tisdale. And a loose ball foul on Robert Horry.
Barkley is setting the physical and mental tone out here.
Barkley with 14 rebounds and now 8 points this afternoon.
He was in another planet against the Trailblazers and just manhandled them and blew them out, and they won 3-0. He has calmed down and been more of a mortal in this series, and has had some games in which his wife has not only had her fingers or toes crossed and saying, come on, Charles, keep it going.
A lot of fingers crossed up there in the seats.
They're ahead.
Phoenix 41, Houston 27.
The defense breaks down, he can also pass the ball out of it. The two-point shot is there for them. Olajuwon was right at the basket.
Robert Horry waited too long to get him the ball and then turned it over.
Has Horry done anything positive today for the Houston Rockets?
Not yet, but that's why you have two halves in a game.
Barkley works his way in, has it blocked, and a jump ball.
Horry is a tremendously valuable player to this Rocket franchise. This is his 3rd year out of Alabama, but just not enough. He's got Barkley in the low box there.
Drexler came over with the block.
The Suns are lucky to get a jump ball out of that because Drexler blocked the ball and actually hit the floor, and they're on the way down the other end.
Hand in the face. Drexler kicks it outside.
I've been injured enough to know that.
And Danny Shays has now drawn his 3rd. So each of the Phoenix centers, Dan Shays, Joe Klein, Wayman Tisdale, has 3 personals each. Of the 2, Olajuwon has outscored Charles 11-9, but Barkley has...
Have to run up and down the court when you're tripping on your laces.
Barkley.
Trying to use his body and position. He's going to fade. Nice pass.
Easy pass indeed for AC Green.
Robert up on Barkley.
KJ out of the corner.
That really hurts when you dislocate your fingers.
Hey, a paper cut under the fingernail ruins my week.
The first time. After it happens once or twice or 10 times, then it's not a problem.
Barkley gonna keep it and then tries to dish it off. It goes out of bounds.
That effort you could see, no elevation. Normally he'd be able to.
At the very top of the day, we talked about how Charles Barkley was outstanding in first halves of games and was disappearing in the second half, Bill, and so far it's the case today.
Who knows if it's the knee, who knows if it's fatigue in old age, who knows if it's just great defense.
Because he's creating problems the other way.
Kevin Johnson. Barkley with the rebound. AC Green.
They want Kevin Johnson to be a jump shooter. So that's what they're trying to do. Make him shoot the ball, but they got to rebound the ball. Barkley gets his first rebound and a hoop of the second half.
Houston played well. Westfall wants a 20-second timeout. Nobody sees him. They're ignoring him. Right now, everyone's playing well for Houston.
Barkley blocked. Barkley again. Doesn't fall for him. Drexler on Marley. Fall away on the baseline. Barkley has the rebound.
That's tough shot for a guy who hasn't been hot in the last couple of minutes.
Barkley with a three, front of the rim. And LA has the
Effectiveness that they were getting from that guard position.
And that just shows you how tough Kevin Johnson is, because Cassell playing the game of his life out here.
Barkley. Barkley can't jump, but the position on Robert Horry.
That's Barkley's third basket in the fourth quarter of his entire series.
Olajuwon, no. Barkley, another rebound.
Phoenix bench has given the Suns not a single point in this half.
Barkley draws the foul. That's on Robert Horry. Let's check in with Hannah Storm.
But Greg, you see Barkley's highly emotional start to this quarter. In the huddle, he was extremely frustrated. Someone tried to offer him water, and he batted them away, and he said, I don't need water, I need the ball. Well, at least that's what I can repeat of what he said, Greg.
Hannah's hearing an awful lot over there today, isn't she?
This is the same attitude that Barkley had 2 years ago when he got the 44 points against the Sonics. He demanded the ball, and in the timeouts, they suddenly started throwing the ball into him. Let's see if he can respond. Physically, he's going to have to really come up with some big efforts because he can't get off the ground.
Wife Maureen can't bear to watch.
Robert Horry, who has still not scored in this game. He does have a turnover and 3 rebounds.
Barkley with his first miss from the line. And Hakeem doing battle with Charles Barkley today. Hakeem 13 points, 8 rebounds. Barkley 14 points, 21.
Up their defensive energy. They're staying a lot closer right now. They're going to make them drive the ball.
Olajuwon and the foul.
As Barkley picks up his third foul on this play. Again, overplaying. You almost have to do that in Barkley's situation.
They go to Barkley. Shot clock at 7. Has it stripped by Horry. 3 coming up on 4 minutes in the game.
Bad call for Olajuwon's 5th foul. A lot of time in this game.
Shot clock at 8.
Barkley, fall away, short.
See, Barkley.
Foul trouble and timeouts will be a factor in the closing minutes.
Shot clock at 10. Barkley. Great look down low by Kevin Johnson. Charles has fouled out.
Charles Barkley sets the pick. That's the best way to get open.
Hakeem and Ames with the deflection. KJ to Person. Too hard. Barkley follows. Rockets by 1. Maureen Barkley can barely stand it. Charles Barkley and the Suns lead it by 1 with 65 seconds to play. Charles in the first half, 9 points, 15 rebounds, 9 and 8.
Somebody for Houston's got to make a big defensive play. Robert Horry may be the guy.
Barkley, the pick for Kevin Johnson, who drives across the lane. Back outside, Marley a 3.
Barkley.
And Johnson with the rebound.
Barkley, it had to be Barkley to keep it alive.
And Johnson fouled on his way to the
Choke got 7 points. Kevin Johnson